parties. And whenever he heard that song, it reminded him of his parents being inebriated and the pain and the anguish that he felt when he hears that song. He can't hear it to this day because it triggers him. And so, that's really real. Even it can happen to people years later, decades later. They see something happens, something reminds them of that, and they get triggered and they start, feeling a little bit unstable. And so I think that's real. I think a lot of times we focus on, let's stop having the police abusers, but we also got to focus on people's mental health after that, because those are very physical, traumatic things, and you have to try to readjust to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Well, we'll see how Micah deals with that. You ever slept with a teacher or an authority figure? You know what? Don't answer that. Let's move on to
no, my
Micah.
friend. That's all in the movies. No, nothing like that happened in no daggone real life. That's all. It was not happening at a HBCU. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Now we'll move on to his mama, Charlotte Bordelon. So in California, Charlie's in California. She's there to have a meeting with the leadership of her party, and they want her to move up and become a state senator, and they want to, put their coins behind her and hopefully get her a national position. But, prior to that, Charlie's talking to Micah like, yeah, I'm out here and I'm, just waiting to meet the senator. But then she throws on this big ass beach hat and slides into this cabana. And I told you when he was nursing her back to health that Davis was going to get Charlotte back, and she is all up in his lap and getting it. What do you think about their relationship?
Mama guy has some love too. And, she decided to reach for the familiar, and she went back. And a lot of women don't go back. Once it's done, you done, and they don't do do-overs. But it's obvious that Charlie said, I could fall in love again, I could trust again. And so we see what that happened, because next week episode looks like he's going to go ahead and start, kind of reintroducing himself back into the Bordelon family. And Aunt Vi can't stand him. And so, I guess it goes to the thing, Calvin, can a person ever really be forgiven for indiscretions? And a lot of times we may forgive our significant other, but sometimes family members are holding on to that thing. They're very upset. You could be years later, they still mad, but you've worked through those things. And so for me, I think it's a case of, we have to watch how we share intimate particular things in our relationships, in our marriages with family members, because sometimes they never get over it, but maybe we do.
Yeah, and it's really funny because, and I want to jump to Vi after this, but the only person that really needs to forgive you is the person that you're trying to get with.
Exactly.
None of the rest of the family has to forgive you. Exactly. Now, also, when Charlie does meet with them and they talk about maybe putting her on the national stage, but definitely wanting her to become state senator, they ask her, is there anything that may come up? And, she, of course, she has the dealings with Davis, but didn't she have some sketchy stuff with the other family that was there? She found out they were family. What do you think is going to happen to Charlie?
I mean, why you say that, Charlie? You got a messy background, even since you've been back in St. Joe. Your political dealings back there, your relationships with people. We kind of didn't finish the story from last year in terms of what was supposed to happen with the highway. And so to me, that's still out there looming as well. That person just disappeared. And so you have all of these things. And then you have her family background in terms of, who her father or who her mother was and, all those things. And so, yeah, your background's real messy. And so why would you say, oh no, nothing to worry about? That meant this season is going to be a lot to worry about.
And it may even come back to Micah, because remember, Micah got locked up, and we may get a lot of things.
They're going to bring out Davis and Davis is infidelity, all these things, and so
and how she covered it up, and that was the whole situation. She was covering it up for us. So, but anyway, let's jump. We talked about the family, and let me jump straight to Aunt Vi, because I'm telling you, man, Aunt Vi is in everybody's business. I mean, we see Aunt Vi first thing when we get into season 1. She's giving food away or pay what you can. Maybe she got a PPP loan because I didn't know she was rich like that. You just pay what you want to pay. You ain't got to pay the full thing. Just pay what you want to pay.
Right,
but then
just giving away pie.
Yeah, just giving it away. But then she's stashing food and taking food. Now, wait a minute. Now, is she taking food? Is she taking food to her ex because Jimmy Dale was beating her ass? See, I thought she might have been taking food to her ex. Of course, we see that she's not taking food to her ex. She's taking food to Celine, who's played by Paula Jai Davis. You know, you ain't got to lie, Craig. And she's taking food to them.
Right.
But then she stays there and eats with them, and Hollywood needs her at the real spot. Vi is in so much, but she's not taking care of home. And of course, we see Hollywood towards the end of episode 2 is calling her out on it. I ain't need my good luck charm at all. I see, he's calling her out on it. What do you think about their relationship right now?
It's crazy because, and also we didn't even mention her beef with Ralph Angel. Her and Ralph Angel was still beefing as well.
Right.
And so, Aunt Vi is doing, as the youth would say, she's doing too much. She's doing the most. And so, Aunt Vi, get many seats and sit down and focus on your relationship. It's amazing. She tries to be so many things to so many people, and she got in that conflict with Prosper's daughter in the second episode and all. It's like Vi is always on 10, and it's detrimental. You always got to go back and clean up behind Vi, or try to, people trying to always talk Vi down. Vi, you need to talk to Ralph Angel. I don't need to talk to him. Vi, you need to calm down on Prosper daughter. I don't need to calm down. Why? If everybody's saying to you, get yourself together, then that means you out of order. And so I'm interested in seeing, what happens with this abuse case, because obviously the woman's hiding. The son tried to reach out to the son. The son tried to reach out to the father. And so we'll see what happens with that and how she may get caught up in that. I'm wondering why she's keeping it a secret and she is doing this undercover. And so I'm waiting for these episodes to kind of explain that.
Yeah, man. And you mentioned her and Prosper's daughter, and I definitely want to jump to that because Vi is really overstepping her bounds. And clearly Prosper's daughter, Billy, her name is Billy on the show. We see that she comes back and she wants to handle the business. And she literally has the paperwork and she says, no border loans, and especially no Vi. And Vi is literally looking at the doctor. You know me. You know I should be in there.
Right.
This girl ain't been here for years. I've been taking care of Prosper. The problem with Vi is that she doesn't know how to talk to people, and she feels like because she's done a couple of things, it makes her the authority figure. We saw that with Ralph Angel and Blue. I helped raise that boy. He's just as much mine as he's yours. No, he's not. He's not. Come out your uterus. Exactly. Vi continues to overstep, but Billy ain't having it. Billy is like, I don't want none of them in there. But we also see that Prosper opens up to Ralph Angel and pretty much says, I wasn't a good father to her. And she even alludes to it when she's talking to Charlie. She's like, people think that it's me, but sometimes it's the other person. So what do you think, where they going with this Prosper relationship with his daughter?
It's so crazy. They really tried to kill off Prosper last year in the pandemic.
I told you he wasn't going to die. You thought he was going to die.
Every week I thought Prosper was going to die. Like, oh Lord, they going to kill Prosper. Prosper in the house worried about COVID. But Prosper needed to worry about the police. They didn't push him down on the sidewalk and stuff. I'm glad to see that he was up at the end of the episode. But, I want to see what the secret is between Billy and
Nova. It was Nova.
Between Billy and Nova. And so she basically kind of pulled that card like, you owe me. And so I want to see what this tie is between Charlie, Billy, and Nova, because also Charlie and Billy, they were talking at the hospital. But it is, I think that's a realistic thing, Calvin. A lot of times people come in and they got the paperwork and they want to, even though they haven't been there, they want to make all the decisions. I don't know, you've ever seen it in families that and maybe even in yours. I know I have, that that family member hadn't really been around and other people have been pitching in, but when they show up, they want, I'm the person that got the legal documents. I'm the person that's that. And I think it's just a thing of, I don't want to say for all Black families, but for sometimes we don't really work to support one another and realize that when we define family, it's even larger than just the biological. There's, extended friends, there's neighbors, and, there's people that have been connected and caring for each other. And those people are important too. And so I want to see how that plays out. I definitely, the first couple scenes with her, I was kind of like, I really want her to get off the TV because she's getting on my nerves. But, I want to see how this relationship of her and Nova and Charlie plays out, because there's this triangle there that I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah, there's something going on. Now, Charlie went and talked to her and pretty much tried to convince her to change her mind, but Charlie approached it in such a professional way. She didn't yell and scream like Vi, and she didn't have to throw blackmail like Nova. She just kind of like, I completely understand, but there are other people that love him and you're keeping him from being loved by other people, but it's your father, whatever decisions you make. But you're right, Nova just swooped in and was basically like,
about that trump card, like,
yeah, you owe me. You owe me. So yeah, I'm with you. I want to see what's going on with what she owes her about. But let's jump into Nova. So we see Nova is still an activist. She's single. Her guy Calvin is in jail now.
Gone.
Yeah, Calvin is in jail. So she's single. She's an activist. She gets this COVID vaccine drive together, which ultimately is the reason that Prosper gets hurt. But she's starting to see that people from outside of St. John's Parish is coming and they're mostly white people. So she's having to deal with that. But the biggest thing she's starting to deal with are the police officers all up in her shit. Police officer literally told her, you need to stop investigating this. She sees that her phone is bugged. What do you think about Nova this season so far?
Yeah, Nova's heading to a lot of trouble, especially with this police. This whole defund, and I'm looking forward to the storyline, because a lot of times when we talk about defunding the police, we know at least on the law enforcement side, they view it as, you're trying to take my job, or it's a violent conflict. And so, the fact that she thinks her phone is tapped, and, just her apprehension and, the way that these police are talking to her, this is going to be an interesting storyline. Nova, she's courageous. And a lot of times when you step out there to take a stand, you got to also deal with the heat that's going to come back. Basically last season, because of COVID, she didn't really get that much heat for, exposing Calvin and all those things. But now that, we're back out in the open, I want to see how this plays out. And so, yeah, even with the police approach towards the family, because it doesn't look like they're not only targeting her, but they may also target the other family members as well.
Yeah, and Nova always has great intentions, but it just seems like her execution always leaves something to be desired. It's never, she's always kind of all like the guy in the commercial, almost you got to be a little quicker than that. She's always kind of just on that borderline. But it looks like she may have found a little bit of love in there too. The guy at the end, she like vanilla ice cream. But what? This is crazy too, Calvin. Just the thing of the COVID shot too, of how people were really fighting for this shot. And I think a lot of us forgot it after we got vaccine. Like when they first announced that shots were available, I mean, I know my daughter was one that found shots for us. She went to
a website where you had these vaccine hunters. That this was a real thing where people had figured out how the appointment schedule had worked. And so they were like, yeah, you got to do it at this time in the morning, or you got to do it at this time in the afternoon. They turn it over at this time. And so we were having a difficult time just going through the regular process. But you had these shot hunters where they had figured out the process. And she was like, yeah, I'm looking for like 4 appointments. And the next day, we all had appointments to get shots. And
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you had these vaccine hunters. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Because I was looking for shots for me and my wife, and someone sent me a link to CVS, and they were like, you ain't gotta go on it now, wait till Tuesday morning. That's when they pop. And I swear, Tuesday morning, I jumped on it, popped up, we got the appointments just like that. So I told everybody I knew that needed shots, go to CVS, but if you don't get it right away, go to Tuesday morning and keep refreshing it. Even if you want to go somewhere that's not, keep refreshing it. It will eventually pop up, and it definitely did work. But that brings us to our favorite couple, Ralph Angel and Darla.
Darla.
Now,
I love you, Darla.
I will admit, Darla is having no issues so far in these first 2 episodes. Darla wants a doula. Maybe she saw the doula on The Chi, and she was like, yeah, I want that doula right there. You know, we can hold hands and sing Kumbaya with other Black women, and I can have this baby. So Darla is happy. The problem is Darla is asking Ralph Angel to buy her prescription, and Ralph Angel looking around like, I ain't got no money. He won't say it, but Ralph Angel has been taking out payday loans. He's been trying to sue the government, but in the meantime, he's about to lose the land. How is he going to lose his father's land? Like, what is going on with Ralph? Where is Blue when you need him? Where's Blue?
Where's Blue? I miss Blue. I wonder if Blue got the haircut. He in DC now. Hopefully they took Blue to a good barbershop so he can get a good lineup. But I want to say this, Calvin, about Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel, you are a terrible farmer. You are a terrible manager of the. Every season, this farm is about to be taken away from Ralph Angel. This is not the first time Ralph Angel is about to lose this farm. He's about to lose it in the first season. Every year, Ralph Angel is about to lose this farm. I thought they had the whole family was working together. Ralph Angel is horrible at this. Why are they letting Ralph Angel run this farm by himself? He can't do it.
So he clearly is not old McDonald. There is no E-I-E-I, but there's a lot of O. He owe everybody.
Yo, that was a good one. But he is horrible. And so he like, yeah, I'm about to have to go out here and rob somebody for my wife's medicine because I can't go to Walgreens and pick up these pills. I ain't going to CVS to get these pills. And he's horrible. Horrible.
But what happened to his janitor's job? I thought he had a janitor's job.
I thought he had a
nothing about that. What happened to that? He banking on suing the government and getting money, and he trying to get everybody with him. That's like the guy that's always like, yo, you want to come with me, do this? And you'd be like, I don't know, man. I ain't really trying. Why, man? Because we're going to be able to do it, man. Right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Ralph Angel.
If you join in, we get a group of people. We get... Oh. I said no, because I'm sorry, Ralph Angel. You like schlep rock. Everything you touch breaks. It's like a cloud is walking over Ralph Angel's life. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely right. Hey man, was there anything else from Queen Sugar that you saw?
You know, I'm glad that Prosper is alive. Oh, this is one thing, Calvin. I'm trying to figure this out. Why are they still in mask? Because I mean, they shot a whole season in mask. Okay, we were like, oh, okay, they're being responsible. They shot with the mask on. But every scene, everybody is still in the mask. And I'm like, okay, Ava DuVernay, nobody went and got the shot. My guess is this. Maybe they filmed all of these episodes within that same time period, and they just broke it up and like, okay, we're going to show these group of episodes as the next season. We're going to hold on to these and then pick up with that season and all. But yeah, it's like they're still in the middle of the pandemic with these masks on.
Well, they could be going for historical accuracy because they're still just getting the shots and people were supposed to wear masks. Yeah. Now, I will say that a shout out to them because they must have mics in the mask because we can understand everything they're saying.
Yeah, unless they do a lot of overdubbing.
Yeah, but it's not realistic because everybody I talk to with masks at least 5 or 6 times, be like, huh?
Right.
What'd you say? And somebody be like, I was just wondering if you was going around the corner. All right, cool.
That's how I ordered my lunch today. I was like, I want a panini. There's like, what? I said, I want a panini. Panini, please.
Hey, man, this was good. We'll end it here. The 3rd episode will come out Tuesday. We'll record this Wednesday and send it out. So I appreciate it. Once again, this is All Things Black with Garland and Calvin. We just did the Queen Sugar recap episodes 1 and 2. I'm Calvin. That's my guy, Garland. We will see you all next week. Or actually, we'll see them Monday. When Sunday Go Ravens. We know what happened last Monday night. But anyway, Sunday Go Ravens. All right, Garland. I'll talk to you later.